Welcome to the Christian Contractor Podcast.
Christian Contractor Podcast.
A show created for kingdom-driven Christian contractors that are focused on scaling their business in God's name while positively impacting the world around them. If you're ready to ascend from a contractor to a purpose-driven business owner, we're here to serve you. Here's your host, Brandon Guthrie.
Amazing. Yeah, finding out your identity and then how that can further the kingdom, and knowing that inside your heart. So that, like you said, when you walk into any situation, it's not about, am I good enough? It's like, for me, it's like there's something so much bigger than having to prove to this room that I'm good enough or something like that. It's like I've been purposed with something way greater from God, and it's like, like you said, it shifts things, and you're like, it's so great. It removes the pressure. It's like, this is so important that I'm stepping into this in the right way, that it removes that pressure, right? You're just like, I don't care. As long as this purpose gets done, that's what matters most. And I can be relieved of any other pressures, right?
Yeah. And so then imagine your life lived from this place of contemplation with God, where you're receiving everything you need from Him, right? You're getting filled up every day, and often numbers of times through the day, asking Him to fill you up, receiving His love, receiving who you are, and then walking into situations. And God just provides these opportunities because now you are aligned with Him, and He's speaking to you all through the day, and you're able to live this life of adventure. You're not holding on to things because of fear. You're not worried about the unknown because He's in everything anyway. So now you can live this adventure. It truly is the exciting life we all want, because we all want to live a life where we are experiencing new things. And like a child, we're in wonder, right, of what's next. And what might that look like? Letting go of the things we've done before and thinking about new ways of doing anything. And we all want that, and we're scared to death of it.
Yeah.
We're scared to death of it because it brings fear of, well, what if it doesn't work out? And what if I lose something? And what if, and when you're getting what you need from God and walking in that place, it doesn't matter. It's okay. There's enough. He's enough. There's enough. I'm enough. There's enough time, there's enough money, there's enough everything, there's enough love. So now you can walk into what's next? What's it going to look like? And so you get a bump in the road, right? We all get surprised. Instead of looking at it as, oh my gosh, what do I do? What I thought was going to happen, that there's this source of money coming and all of a sudden it stops. Oh my gosh. And we immediately go into fear, and fear stops creativity. Right? What we need to do is stay in peace and joy. And somebody I know, and in Identity Exchange, we talk about this all the time, that joy is the jet fuel of creativity. So when something bad happens, you need creativity. But we go into fear, and it stops creativity when we need it the most.
Yes.
So you can stay in joy, ask God, you're in this place, you're communicating with Him already, and He can give you creative ways to deal with the situation. And it probably is going to take you to some new stuff that you never would have gone to if the problem hadn't come up. And so God's using it to transform us all the time. So instead of that roadblock being, oh my gosh, we're going to die, and, we're not going to have any money and everything's going to be bad, look at it as, so what is it you want to let go of, so that I can transition into the next thing and be transformed? Like shedding the snake skin. Why does a snake shed its skin? Because it has to grow. And we want to hold on.
Yeah. Wow. Everything, those can be exciting opportunities if we see them
always is.
as exciting opportunities. And if
With
we're
God,
trusting,
it's always the next opportunity.
Yeah, there you go. And then if you know you're living in your identity and your purpose, you can, as I've said recently, is like, I'm I'm stepping down. I'm like, I'm not CEO anymore. Like, God, you're CEO. I just show up. I'm just a face. Like
Yeah.
you get to worry about all the stressful stuff. I'll let you handle that. I'm just gonna know my identity, know my purpose, step into it, show up, and see everything as an exciting opportunity. And I think I heard you say this: keep your head on a swivel of like, how is God working in this situation?
Yeah.
Like, look for it. How God, and I heard this recently, is God is pro challenge.
Yeah.
God is pro challenge. Like he wants to put you through things to build that perseverance, to build that hope, to change, create that transformation that you're meant to have. And not pray, God, give me this, but make me the man that you need me to be, or woman that you want me to be, or whatever is next. Like that joyful, free adventure of seeing what is next. That's amazing.
Yeah.
And which kind of also leads into, so man, I bet you Christian contractors listening on this, they're probably out of all episodes. Don't want to say that because they got really people. But I mean, for me, it feels so much in alignment because I know one thing that everyone's starving is to bring purpose and passion back, kind of like passion and joy, like you're saying, like this free joy back into their business. Like, how can I do that? I've been doing this for 30 years, and like you said, bringing passion and joy back into my business is like, well, I'm listening now. So, number one, and before we jump off, I want to talk a little bit more about how people can do that. And then, so, locking in on your identity, locking on your purpose, and being able to know that without a shadow of a doubt, like, boom, that's it. Like, I don't have to think anymore, guess anymore. This is it. This is what God has me for my identity, my purpose. And then third, I wanted to hit on what we need to stop doing. So I wanted to hit that a little bit because I know I felt convicted when you shared that with me. And I'm sure everyone listening in on this is going to feel convicted as well. Oh, I want to try this. I want to try that. They're cool ideas. I don't know if God ever asked you to do that, though. And do you think your plan or his plan is better? Like, talk to me about that.
Well, we all think our plan's better, but
Of course.
it usually doesn't work out well. Uh,
Right.
and it really all goes back to hearing again, being in his presence and hearing, because that's how you learn to step into what you need to be doing. And then it's a great question because we're all such doers, right?
Mm.
I mean, we want to do for God. We don't take time to receive. We just want to go do. All right.
Mm. Mm.
And
Mm.
and we need to, and it's a question my friends and I often will ask each other as we get together in groups. We'll get together in groups and just say, okay, let's just ask God stuff and see what he says. And one of the questions we'll often ask is, what are you doing that God never asked you to do?
Mm. Mm.
And
Mm.
because it's huge, we all do stuff. So think about this. Think about the Garden of Eden. Where did the enemy attack? He didn't attack Adam. Adam's the
Mm.
doer. He's out, man, we're doing stuff. We're making stuff happen. He's out naming everything and doing all that. He goes to Eve because Eve is the receiver. Women are built, their physical bodies built to receive, and they're the
Mm.
receivers. And so he attacks the receiver because if he can keep you from receiving, it's over. It stops.
Mm.
Whatever you're doing
Mm.
stops. So it's so important
Mm.
that we be receivers, that we spend time letting God pour into us, and that we let him tell us who we are, and that we hear him speak. All that is the receiving part. Then after you receive, then you ask him, when do I step out?
Mm. Mm.
Because and
Mm.
think of your business. If you ran your business like that, instead of so often, and I was this way in my real estate career, something shiny comes along and I grab a hold and I'm down the road. I don't ask anybody.
Mm.
And rather than, okay, God, where does this fit in what I'm
Mm.
doing? And asking all the time, what do I need to know about this?
Mm.
Right? So what's the new way to think about my business? And listening for him to give you direction, him to give you new ideas, because he will.
Mm.
And if things aren't working, we tend to do in business, if something isn't working, we just keep trying it and keep trying it and keep trying it until, we lose everything. Rather than
Mm.
something isn't working, it's like, okay, so what's the new way to do this? What's the new way to
Mm.
think about this? And then imagine bringing that to your team. where everybody is walking in their identity, free of lies and fears, and we're all together saying, what's a new way to do this? What's a new way to paint houses? What's a new way to do roofs? What's a new way to do HVAC? What's a new way, and let God bring these new ideas, because there's lots of new things to be invented.
Oh yeah.
Right?
100%.
I mean, we have not invented everything. I mean, God has.
Woo.
Right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, lots more to come. And I want to be a part of that, right? I want to see what that looks like.
Yeah, that sounds exciting. Exciting opportunity.
Exactly.
So wow, that's amazing. So listen and listen and receive, so that you get that clarity on what you should be doing, and like what you kind of came up with on your own. I think when you fact check that against what God's telling you, and I think it becomes pretty clear, at least for me, since we had our session. I had some thoughts about some things that I was trying to do, and things that I knew God had for me, and I was like, yeah, no, God never told me to do that. So I think it's pretty clear, it becomes pretty clear. So for Christian contractors listening in right now, identity, purpose, and what should you stop doing? Those are the three things I want to hit on big today. Is learning what your identity is, narrowing in on what that purpose is, so you can bring that every day to your day, whether that's a work day or it's a life day. It's all life, right? Whether it's work or it's personal, it's all life, right? Yep. So bringing that purpose to life can bring that passion and purpose. Is at least that's how I feel. I feel like the Christian contractor listening in, and the contractor industry and everybody is starving for that purpose and passion, to be like laser focused and laser confident without a shadow of a doubt. This is my identity. This is my purpose. And I know it. And I'm willing to just step into it freely and joyfully and fearlessly. I mean, amazing. Just saying it out loud, I'm already getting excited. So, and then what to stop doing. So audit yourself, Christian contractors listening in right now. I'm sure the short version, if we were going to give kind of like a takeaway, a little maybe practice that you could do. I will not guess and butcher it. I'll let you kind of speak to this a little bit, but I mean, I'll just say, like, I don't know, for one, I would say, like you said, get in the presence, clear your mind, get out of that logical mind, get in your creative right side of your brain, try to receive and listen and write that down, dissect it. What is God trying to say for your identity, for your purpose, and then what you should stop doing. Audit yourself, go and do it. I'm like, how can we commission some Christian contractors listening right now to do like a mini version of all of that? What would be like your, hey, if anything, if you're going to take away one practice away from this podcast, go and do this. And would love to see like what impact that's had.
Yeah, I would say, and this is taken from Psalm 27. David says, this I know, this one thing I know, right? I want to abide in his presence. I want to see his beauty in everything. And then I inquire of the Lord. And then wait on him. So one, abide with him, spend time, be quiet, be in his presence, go into your imagination and imagine him there. See his beauty in everything that happens. So something bad happens. Where's God's beauty in it? There's going to be his beauty somewhere in it. And then inquire all the time. What do I need to know? What do you want to tell me? What do I need to do? Always inquiring, keeping that communication open. And then wait on the Lord, and you'll know when it's time to move.
Boom. Just like that. Christian contractor listening in.
Yeah.
I'm sure you're feeling like, oh, wow, this is amazing. I want to do this. I mean, when would you say, like, next time you have that sit down, that time, whether that's in the morning, in the evening, or lunchtime, or whatever that is, go out and, get going, right?
Yeah, and it doesn't have to be a long time. People think, oh, I've got to have an hour in the morning. Take your drive to work in the car. Keep your hands on the wheel, but then, imagine being in a peaceful place where you can go and be there with God and put yourself there. What does it feel like to be there? What do you hear? What do you smell? Maybe it's at the beach. And then imagine Jesus walking up to be with you and see what he looks like. Well, how's he dressed? He's probably not going to be in a robe. He's probably in shorts and flip-flops. And he's going to come and sit down next to you. And, what does he want to say to you when he comes to meet you there? And it's always going to be encouraging, by the way. If you ever hear anything that isn't, it's not him. He just wants to be with us. He loves us so much. And nothing can separate us from his love. Not your mistakes, not your past, not your shame, any of that stuff can separate it. So that God shows up with you on the beach, and he's probably going to come and say, hey, let's jump in the water together, right? And then sit on the beach together and talk about life. And that's the kind of God we have. That's how Jesus wants to be with us. So encounter him in those kind of ways. And then say, what do I need to know about today? And if he tells you something, you go do it.
Boom. Just like that. I love it. Amazing. So, man, Christian Contractor listening in right now, I know they're like, yes, this is lit. This is lighting them up. This is what I've been needing. I've been starving for, to lock in on the identity, purpose, and what to stop doing, and to be able to do that is amazing. So I'm sure there's Christian contractors listening right now. It's like, how do I dive more into this? Talk to us a little bit about, what you do and how people can connect with you. Because I know there's Christian contractors that are on the edge of their seat. They're like, I need passion and purpose. I want passion and purpose back in my life. I want to know without a shadow of a doubt, I'm doing what God has for me. And they want that. I know there's the nation is starving for that. The world is starving for that. So how can people learn more about that?
So go to identityexchange.com and you go into coaches. There's coaches there. I'm one of them listed there, but you can pick anyone and sign up for a coaching session, and your coach will start you on the trail.
That easy, huh?
Yeah.
IdentityExchange.com.
There you go.
Perfect. Amazing, amazing, amazing. Wow. This is profound. This is hugely needed. Steve, thank you so much for your time. I know you have an exciting adventure of a day, because I know you're living in your purpose. So that's great. And thank you so much for taking the time to connect. I know that one thing that I feel like God has placed on my heart is definitely wanting to bring passion and purpose back into this space. And I've just bringing it up, I could just tell there's so many people that are starving for that. Not only to, yes, have a business as a ministry, business as a mission. That's kind of what's also been on my heart. And I definitely want to talk to you more about what we talked about with me, and all that. I'm so looking forward to learning more about that, because I have this business as a ministry is in my heart. And when I hear that, I'm like, oh my gosh, that's it. How do we do that? But not only that, that's cool to do that, but foundationally wise, I feel like in order to do that, if that is truly what God has placed on your heart to do, because it's not for everybody. If it is, then the foundation is having passion and purpose to be able to drive you through the shadow of the valley of death, if it comes, when it comes, when it comes. So, it's so foundational, right? It's so foundational, this passion and purpose. So this is very personal and close and near and dear to me, because I've been trying to piece together a way to bring passion and purpose back into contractors' lives that I personally work with in a very close way. And I've worked really hard to pull biblical principles that can be those things that can bring passion and purpose back into your business. But I feel like this is like this component of what you're doing plays into it so much. And so I'm very excited and very thankful that God brought you into my life, so that we can, what I always say, it's like, it doesn't matter. It's not about me. It's about the movement that's already happening. That's going to happen with or without me. long after I'm dead and gone and in heaven with the Father, this is still going to be happening, and I'm just want to be a conduit and be a small part of it, and it's going to happen with or without us. And I'm just so excited that we got connected, and looking forward to how we can bring passion and purpose back into the industry even more. And then we'd love to hear more from you. Maybe we'll have another episode speaking to what your thoughts are on business as a ministry or business as missions. And that's a whole other chapter I'd love to hear your thoughts on. So I really appreciate you coming on here, Steve.
Hey, my pleasure. Thanks for letting me.
Absolutely. Absolutely. All right, dude. So thank you so much for tuning in to the Christian Contractor Podcast. I'm Brandon Guthrie with Dream Design Labs. If you're a Christian contractor that wants to take territory in God's name through business as missions, learn how we do just that at go.dreamdesignlabs.com/950K-30 days. Check it out. It's free. I guarantee you'll get great value from the content. Remember, marketing doesn't have to be hard. All you need is the right tools and the right heart to serve. Till next time, stay blessed. Steve, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you.